It's like the Tarkov devs are trying to make this worse.
On the current situation. I wonder what situation that is. So they put this out, I guess, earlier, 12 hours ago, earlier today. It's Battlestate Games. It's from Nikita. It's the same main guy. So he said,
never trust a guy named Nikita, because even his parents did not care about him. Nikita can be a male name and a female name. So, you know someone did not try hard with their kid.
Let me clarify the situation in a little more detail regarding owners of Edge of Destruction Edition, Edge of Darkness, excuse me, edition, and access to the cooperative mode and other issues. First of all, PVE game mode is not DLC. DLC, in our understanding, is the major additions to the game, including various functionality and content that are released.
You know it's gonna be bad when you need to redefine what DLC even means and give your take on what DLC actually is.
After the official release of the game as themed DLC packs. Secondly, this specific functionality of PvE mode is necessarily located on a separate network infrastructure because essentially you play on our servers only in closed mode. At this stage, it is not possible to launch all players who are EOD holders. Right now, we simply do not have the required amount of resources for this. We observe your dissatisfaction, and we have decided that the functionality of PvE mode will be available for free to all owners of Edge of Darkness at the release of the game, when the server infrastructure will be improved.
How nice of them. How nice. I'm sure everyone's happy now.
To the required capacity. Now you have all had the opportunity to test this mode by purchasing the Unheard edition of the game or upgrading the version, upgrading to the version. We also decided to give a 50% discount when upgrading to the Unheard edition from the Edge of Darkness edition.
A 50% discount? Man, the community must love this. This is most likely exactly what's gonna set everything right, and people are gonna be happy. I can already see it.
We plan to send 1 free Left Behind edition keys to everyone who's already been upgraded. Moreover, any player of any version of EFT can have the opportunity to test the PvE mode. We want to add the ability to purchase a separate early access to this mode. For EOD owners, there will be a 70% discount on the purchase of early access to PvE. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts on this idea. I mean, this isn't really that bad, right? It's probably the best one that they've had so far. It's still bad, but like it's the least worst one.
Introduced overpriced trash that no one likes, and then offer a discount to your overpriced trash. Yeah, people are gonna love this.
I would say that. Yeah, it's the least worst one. Why couldn't they just offer this off the get-go and subvert all the drama? I don't know why. I have no idea. So basically, the reason why this is DLC is because it still runs off of the same base game. So in general, a DLC is anything that, like for example, World of Warcraft Plunderstorm is like DLC. In addition to the game, that's like a new way of playing an existing game is DLC. You're not making a new game. Like
I'm pretty sure most people would, you know, consider other things as DLC, but I guess this fits. Yeah, sure, why not?
In any definition of DLC, this does not fall under that category. At least it doesn't sound like the Magic 8 Ball. That's true. Wrong, try again tomorrow. Look at the first mod comment. Okay, last time I checked, a brand new game mode that the game's never had is a pretty major addition to the game. That's obviously DLC. Popular questions that appear in this thread. How's a new game mode? Not major content, so therefore not DLC. Well, look, I mean, here's the truth. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, right? It is DLC. By any normal person's definition of DLC, a PvE mode is DLC. That's just...
I don't know about that. I would say DLC is just any downloadable content you add to the game. This is why I'm not looking at Plunderstorm like DLC, because in reality, it's a completely different game that Blizzard just knew is not gonna be even remotely successful if they put it as a separate download thing. So, yeah. I don't know how I feel about calling Plunderstorm DLC. Yeah, it's dead anyway, so who honestly cares, right?
It's the way it is. Nobody is going to imagine that it's not DLC. Like, if you polled 1,000 gamers and you asked them, is this DLC?
Oh yeah, everyone would say DLC. Maybe one idiot would misclick no.
I bet you'd have at least 950, if not all 1,000 of them, saying, yeah, it's probably DLC. Like, come on. And also, like, there's no dictionary definition of this, so really, whenever you give people something and then you misdefine it in a way that's non-advantageous to them, that they clearly don't understand, they're gonna get pissed off about it. I mean, like, it's really not that complicated. Like, so it doesn't matter, like, what your definition is, because, you know, this is like another example of the customer's always right. If the customer thinks this is DLC, then it's DLC, especially if pretty much all the customers think that. And I think that's where they're at right now. You advertised the arena as DLC previously, it is no longer advertised as DLC. Well, exactly, right? And the reason why they advertised the arena as DLC, it's because the arena was DLC. That's the reason why.
Yeah, that's a pretty obvious reason why, honestly, okay.
So why is this happening? And also, like, I think that they understand that there's obviously, like, double speak going on, because if they didn't realize that...
Yeah, they made the double speak. They made things retroactively vanish, so it doesn't seem like look like double speak if you don't know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they know it's double speak, considering they made it into double speak.
They wouldn't have changed the line about DLC. I think that that's the best way that you can tell that they did it on purpose, is the fact that they changed their wording. So, like, if they... And, like, why would you need to change the wording? Well, the reason why is because you have redefined DLC in a way that is advantageous for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean the customer has to, you know, follow along with that. Arena was basically a standalone asset flip. It had nothing to do with the base game and core gameplay loop. Yeah, well, maybe the PVE...
Well, you don't need it to do anything with the core gameplay loop, to be honest. But, you know, it is a little bit muddy when it's a completely new thing in the same game, and, you know, it doesn't follow anything that the previous game did. But, you know, DLC is still DLC, and everyone considers this as DLC. Especially if you put it in the same game, you know? Maybe it's not the same thing, maybe it shouldn't have been DLC, but if you put it in the same game, it's DLC.
He doesn't either. EA is watching us off the corner and taking notes. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see, the rest of this still very tone deaf and arrogant. Tarkov is still in beta, and you use the money we gave you to fund other bullshit we didn't ask or expect. Common sense should tell you to don't move resources from anywhere until Tarkov is feature complete. Once you've shipped the game, then go and waste whatever resources you want doing your own shit.
Yeah, this is an extremely on-point take. If your game is in beta, alpha, zeta, gamma, ray, beta, bill, or whatever, you should probably not take the resources from that game and start doing something else.
I think that's pretty fair. It is. Y'all are so close to hitting the nail on the head, yet miss due to arrogance every time. It's not due to arrogance, it's because they don't want to. So this is the problem that the Tarkov developers...
I would say it's just due to greed, but that's fine.
...have. They can't give everybody the PVE because they don't have the server capacity for it. Now, so how do you solve that problem? Well, you solve that problem by not releasing something like this in the first place. That's the way you solve the problem. But now that they're in this, there is no easy solution for them.
That sounds like the most redundant way of solving any issue. Hey, do you have money for all the food that you want this month? No? Well, I guess you better just off yourself. That is Asmongold at its finest, you know? Redundancy at its peak.
Because if they can't give everybody the server space, they can't afford the server space.
Yeah, I guess Classic World of Warcraft also should not have launched because they didn't have the server space. I mean, that's fair, true.
They're stuck. But the truth is that this is a problem that they've created themselves. They did this to themselves. It's not like it's some other, you know, accident or anything like that. It happened because of their own actions. So close, but still not listening clearly. Oh, you almost...
That's not even honestly the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the fact that it's not like they don't know how many people should be anticipated to play whatever the hell they're making. They see how many people are buying, they see how many people are actively playing monthly and whatnot. So this excuse of, oh well, we didn't make servers is non-acceptable. You an idiot could estimate how many people a server probably should be able to hold at this point. But they didn't. What the hell? That is just, oh, we're gonna blame it on servers, it's gonna be fine. It's just a situation where they want money. Because these devs probably know this, right? Every developer knows this, every gamer knows this. Something hot comes out, people rush to it. That's the big line go up in player numbers. But after a week or two, that line is gonna be like there. So there is a chance that the devs simply did not wanna waste money on servers or, whatever. So they bought this much instead of this much. So, but that much would be probably good enough in like 2 weeks when the hype dies down. And that's how they just wanted to save money. That's what I imagine is honestly happening here.
Almost had it. Yeah, I feel like this is better. Let me clarify something too. If you access a mode PVE version through a game, original multiplayer, as far as you can't play the specific mode without the game, then it's 100% part of the game, making it a DLC. Yeah, this guy has the best definition of it. He did it better than me, right? Yeah, I agree with that. PvE is objectively DLC. It doesn't matter what BSG's definition of DLC is. Well, also, you have to remember that they agree that the PvE is DLC. And this is one thing that I hope Tarkov players understand, is that the developers of Tarkov know that it's DLC.
If the Tarkov players were that stupid as you just implied, that they would not understand this whole situation would not be occurring and everyone would be happy and no one would know about this. The fact that everyone's pissed and you can't even go into the Discord or whatever of theirs means that people are very well understanding this. Thank you for your enlightenment, Asmongold. Very deep.
They know it, and you can know that for a fact. And the reason why you know that they know it's DLC...
Because they're mad about it en masse. This is a phone. I hope everyone understands it, but in case you don't, by looking at it, you can tell it's a phone, You can. Man, we're going deep with the esoteric knowledge of... I don't even know what this should be called.
DLC is because they changed the wording on their website.
Yeah,
Why would they change the wording if they were being consistent? They changed the wording because they knew that they were going to do this.
That's actually a kind of a that's only for Tarkov, by the way. There are situations where wording is changed for consistency outside of Tarkov where it's completely fine because it's intended to make things in the future consistent. So this is only a bad thing for Tarkov, by the way, currently. It's a case-by-case basis thing.
That's the whole reason. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe anybody who believes this shit. I mean, let's be honest, man.
I don't think anyone believes this shit. Usually you have people defending, you have mega fans of games, right? There's the Bethesda fanboys who will literally die on the hill of, Bethesda being not garbage nowadays, right? You usually have that for almost every game, anything. You find a YouTuber with 10 subs, and one of those subs is gonna die on the hill for that guy, right? But in Tarkov's case, I have not seen anyone even try to defend this. I haven't heard that anyone's even trying to defend this. No one believes this.
It's disgusting. Well, it's not a surprise. Let's see how standalone game arena is a DLC, but a new game mode that we paid for is not. Well, because they're lying. That's why. They're lying to justify a bad behavior. It's simple. And this is the thing, like, a lot of people a lot of people try to use logic and try to argue with people, but whenever you argue with somebody who's lying, you're just going to be lied to. The truth is that there's no point in even approaching and arguing this. They're lying. They did it because they don't want to spend extra money on server capacity. They changed the words, after the fact to gaslight people into thinking that it was never the case, that the arena was DLC, but this isn't. And now they're trying to pretend like this never happened. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. They're just being pieces of shit. And so there's no reason to even engage in an argument or a conversation. They're lying. They scammed people. Everybody knows it. And that's why they're all mad. There it is. And if they had said, too, here's the other thing. If they had said with the PVE, they had said at the beginning, we're not going to be able to get everybody into the PVE at the same time. We're going to have a really long server queue for the PVE. Or we're going to have a random lottery system, like kind of how like WoW betas have like a random invite.
Ah, that sounds so hilarious. Random lottery system, baby.
List, then it would have been fine. There's like...
No, it would not have been fine. Because listen, you're paying for this. You're a paying customer. You spent your money. And you need to... What are you spending your money on? A fucking lottery ticket? No, I bought access to a game, not a goddamn lottery ticket. What the... That's even more scummy.
Like kind of how like WoW betas have like a random invite list. Then it would have been...
Yeah, a WoW beta is not even close to comparable to this.
And fine. There's like 50 different ways that they could have done this. But the reason why they didn't use any of these other methods, you might be like, oh, they're stupid. No, these guys aren't stupid. They did it for money. What do you think? Like, oh, look, guys, let me give you a little bit of advice. Whenever personal gain and coincidence converge, it's not a coincidence. You think that they just accidentally charged $250 for this? Get the fuck out of here. They clearly did it because they wanted to see how much money they could get from people that they already got the money from. That's it. Jordan Belfort was talking stupid. Yes, you never want to think...
Man, we're going deep today, aren't we? With the basic stuff that everyone understands. Wow. Can you imagine? The $250 price tag was not a random number generation outcome. Holy! I didn't know that.
That somebody who is scamming you is dumb. I think that, yes, they have mismanaged this situation, but the outcome of the situation was entirely planned. This is what Lyric said.
Especially now that all these now that the genre is a fucking bombshell.
Can he say now one more time?
Yeah.
Of every motherfucker wanting to make an extractor shooter.
This goes back to my chart.
You know, you have a lot of people who are seasoned in EFT.
Yeah.
Your community is like super into your game. They love you and hate you at the same time.
Yep.
Because the cheaters or the bugs or whatever the fuck, but they still load up. You got the community like a WoW community. They love you and hate you.
And they love to hate you.
Successful.
No, he's right. Lyric is right. A lot of these people don't mind forking up $250 too. Well, a lot of people that play PoE don't mind forking it up, but they also don't mind it because they don't have to. I think that whenever you require something, it's a lot different than whenever it's an option. So yeah, it's possible this is an exit strategy for the company since they're hemorrhaging money. Just tank the company on purpose.
Probably not.
How do you know they're hemorrhaging money? Have they said that, or have you seen
That doesn't even matter. This is just a stupid thing to do in general.
their balance sheet? Because I think that they're not hemorrhaging money.
How do you know that they are hemorrhaging money? Have you seen a balance sheet? I think they're not. Dude, you can't do this. You can't deny someone's opinion because they have not seen a balance sheet. and then instantaneously say, I think they're doing great, and not disqualify your own opinion because you have not seen a balance sheet. Oh man, we truly live in a society.
Yeah, trust me, bro. Yeah, I mean, if I don't see the balance sheet, if this isn't a publicly traded company, then I'm not going to believe that they're hemorrhaging money. Yeah, no way. DLC abbreviation, people keep talking about that. Yeah, half your player base gets the new stupid edition. You will not be able to handle the load. Yeah, and this is also like another really good way to look at it. This guy brings up a great point. I thought about this when I was reading it and I forgot. So what's the logic here? So the servers can't have everybody. So you're adding a new version of the game, in which case your best version, or your best case scenario, is that you buy everything for the game, and you buy the new version, and then you're in the same position that you're at now, where you can't afford all the server space. It's actually crazy. EOD was promised was a great mistake for them. Now they've come to regret it, and they're trying to find any actual way to make money again. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I think that it probably wasn't. Like, personally...
Well, if Tarkov is a Russian developer, as much as I understand it is, yeah, then they could probably not have the money because the CEO already has embezzled all of it. And again, I understand a lot of you are Americans, but Russia is extremely corrupt. I think a lot of you have already heard that. China is also extremely corrupt. Where you can embezzle money, you're an idiot in those countries if you're not embezzling money, okay? Anyone who's trying to live an honest life is an idiot there. Everyone who is trying to embezzle money, though, you're doing it right. So, maybe the studio does have money problems. Because you can't be a Russian anything businessman if you're not embezzling money. That just doesn't work in real life. It's a pipe dream.
I think that it would have been a better idea to just put it out and then like...
And if you're not a businessman but you're a normal worker, you should be probably stealing from the company that you work with, because if you're not, you're also an idiot. Life is pretty different in a lot of places. What can I say?
For example, I would have probably tried the PVE version of Tarkov. Like, I'm not interested in PvP Tarkov because it's just too hardcore, and like I'm the kind of person that if I play a game and I lose progress in the game, like the reward structure in my brain just like immediately falls apart.
Simple explanation. If there is no way to pay to win or get carried by someone, I will not play a game because that is too complicated. Or unless there's a save structure, like, you know, Dark Souls or something, where you can just repeat until you finally do it. Anyway, are we done? I think we're done. At least I'm definitely done. Anyway, that was Roachman 2000. What a time to be alive. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.